Cup of tea like Stephen.
Oh.
Cup of tea for the man like steaming. Eh? Like that, did you? But you doesn't burn your tash out. I boil the kettle about 5 times. Yeah, it's stuck in here. Ding me heat in this. How?
Hello everyone, welcome back to FILTA. I'm Steve.
I'm Bootsy, and this is your FILTA podcast, guys.
Like, share and subscribe.
If you don't mind, press like and comment something and all, man. Keep saying it, didn't we?
So this week, as you can tell by the picture, we're going to be talking about the new Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing that he's came in? And yeah, we're not going to give our opinion. We're going to keep it objective and stick to the facts, guys, and then you can make up your own mind.
Because the last time we did For an Idiots video, which was the Great Reset for Idiots, it got took down. So, and we'd give our opinions, didn't we? And we got took down for misinformation. So this week it's straight facts, guy. Yeah.
Before we do that though, yeah, I've got a joke for you.
You with the f***ing joke. What's the punchline?
So, pretend that you've got a salt shaker in your hand, right, and you're trying to pour salt into your mouth, but you can actually taste the salt.
What you got to do?
Pretend you've got a salt shaker in your hand,
Right.
and you're shaking the salt into your mouth,
Right.
and you can taste the salt.
What you on about?
Got him!
What you on about?
Do it again. Can you taste the salt?
Oh, you dirty bastard! Y'all get the pepper grinder now while I'm on, will I? Have you seen all the kids doing that these days?
What?
Like, I've seen loads of
Like rain motion.
I don't know if it's all over the world, but I keep seeing it comes up on the Facebook feed, you know. Like kids you say like there was a one at baseball and that, you know, when the camera, I think basketball.
On against some kid, he's doing that.
He's doing all this, but loads of youngins are doing like doing that as they think it's funny. I think it's sick, me.
Kids must be watching too much porn.
Aye, where are they getting that from?
Don't have
10 year old doing the pepper grinding motion.
There's the first swear I need to beep.
Who was it?
Me.
Oh yeah, I'm in for a right bonus at Christmas, won't I? Get the bonus scheme in.
We'll crack on with the main topic, guys.
Who is it? Rishi Sunak.
Rishi Sunak.
Otherwise known as Joe Biden says.
Rashid Mahmoud.
Is that what he says?
Nah, he said
we'll find
Rashid Sunak. I think got the last name right.
Rashid. Why aye. And we'll insert that here though. Take it away, the techno.
And whether it's the United Kingdom or just today, we've got news that Rashid Sunak is now the Prime Minister.
As if he called him that.
Oh, he's a helmet, isn't he? Right, so Liz Truss resigned after, was it 44 days in number 10?
It was 44, was it?
Something like that. It was the shortest reign in history.
Yeah, I've had longer shades.
I want to beep that now.
Here's one each.
And do we keep beeping the swear words or should we just...
That doesn't make any difference, does it?
Okay.
Saying that the Great Reset, didn't we? We were
I had
soaring.
loads, and I had loads of swear words.
Or was it swearing in there?
That was
We started.
One after the Jeffrey Dahmer one, I think.
Yeah, if there's anyone watching this who knows something about YouTube, is the swearing affecting or what? Are we just gonna stay on 100 views every week? Like, is that the crack? Swearing or not?
Should I beep them out then? Do you reckon? Oh, might as well. Anyway,
maybe do the first 10 minutes.
Right. So anyway, we've had 3 prime ministers in 3 months. The shortest.
I've had mere shades.
So 3 prime ministers in 3 months. Obviously, she didn't do very well. She made a few balls up, something to do with the banks and interest rates were soaring and fracking and all that. And people weren't happy. And apparently, there was a big kick-off in Parliament, and people were being manhandled, and there was scraps and everything.
Manhandled?
There was reports of people being manhandled, being like dragged out and that. And it was
they love manhandling people in
off.
that Parliament, didn't they?
And she resigned the next morning.
She couldn't take the manhandle.
But so we've had 3 prime ministers in 3 months. An interesting fact: she's the only prime minister that served it.
I tell you who can handle a manhandle.
Yeah.
Phil.
Right.
Manhandle.
As I was saying, she's the first prime minister to serve a queen and a king. Not for very long, but she did. So then Rishi Sunak became prime minister. No general election. He was nominated by just over 200 Tory MPs and declared the victor on Monday after the only remaining challenger pulled out at the 11th hour.
The 11th hour? Why do they call it the 11th hour? Would it not be the 23rd hour? There's 24 hours in a day, guys. Yeah.
I know, it's a good point.
And also, so he's, because I didn't know much about it, like, you didn't really say much about
That's a surprise.
the politic, especially English politics, or UK politics. The last time I seen was for the funeral. Liz Truss was working doing the thing, going to the funeral, and the Aussie presenters didn't have a clue who she was. Did you see that video?
I saw that,
Put it in, guy.
I'll find that now.
Who's this?
No, hard to identify. Maybe minor royals, members of the... I can't identify them at this point.
We can't spot everyone,
no.
unfortunately. They look like they could well be local dignitaries. It's hard to see. We're looking at the backs of their heads mostly.
But I think we are now getting to the pointy end, as they say, of the... I'm just told that was Liz Truss, the new Prime Minister, in the distance that we could see hopping out of that car. Well, thank you very much.
But yeah, she didn't have much of a presence or personality or anything. She's very forgettable. Do you know what I mean? Like, even the world media didn't know who she was. But what do you think? Do you think they should have just got this bloke straight in after the balls up that Liz Twist made? Or should we went to a general election? Because surely it's about time since...
You've got an erection.
Because what was that Theresa May? She quit. Boris Johnson was in, he quit.
He didn't, man, he got sacked. I quit, I
resigned because he had so much controversy going on.
He was having a rave doing Downing
Then
Street.
we had this Liz Truss in, she quit. And then we've just put another, like, what's them, Conservatives?
Tories.
Put another Tory straight in. Like, isn't it time, right, you've balls it up for too long now, it's time to have a vote.
Aye, wait, that's the thing, right? So, like I say, now to me, this is for idiots, right? I can be the idiot here because I didn't know much at all, but given you do your general election and you vote that party in for...
General erection?
Aye. So you have your general erection, right? And then you get that erection for 4 years.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Why, aye.
Can I give him about 4 minutes these days?
Oh, yeah. Aye. You're telling me lies. But anyway, you vote that party in for, I don't know, is it 2 years or 4 years, and then they can choose whether to go again. I don't know. I know that's what they do in America. Like, Trump had his 4 year, didn't he?
What, so he gets 4 years?
No, the party gets the 4 year.
Oh, okay.
And then there's a general election every 4 years. I might be talking utter crap.
I know that's how it works in America. I never know, you know.
But there's a lot of calls for a general election now because they have knocked it up that many times. But anyway, you vote for the party, so you vote for the Conservative Party. Where if there was a general election, that's when Labour or the Liberal Democrats or someone else can get in. I don't know what's for the best anyway. Like,
so when would you do a general election?
Is it next year?
I'm due a general election.
I don't know. I think it might be next year.
So, Rishi Sunak is part of a hedge fund that are the biggest investors in Moderna. Again, these are just facts. No opinions here.
What's that mean?
Moderna, the vaccine.
What's a hedge fund?
So, hedge fund is like a group of people who invest, put a pot of money in a little fund, and that hedge fund is a big investor in Moderna. And he has a large involvement in the corporate world with a net worth of 730 million.
That's his net worth?
Yeah, so he's the richest Prime Minister in history, like, by a large amount.
It's like the Toon, innit? We're the richest football club in history by a large amount as well. Just slide that one in there, guy.
In interviews, so no, obviously that was a big thing, how, like, a lot of, you know...
So he invested a lot of money in the vaccine?
Yeah. Because you know how, like, there's a big controversy how lots of people, you know, like, big corporate people were making millions and millions of vaccines and stuff.
If you had watched A Great Reset, you would have known all about this.
What's the word I'm going to use? Allegedly, why the vaccines may have been being pushed. I'm not saying the word. This is just out there, guys. Anyway, so in an interview, he actually refused to say that he's not profiting from the vaccine. Again, these are just facts, guys.
Hey, this is your new FILTA podcast, guys.
YouTube, if you're scanning the content here, these are just facts. You can look that up.
So he's basically a part of a big group who has invested loads of money into the vaccine
and potentially made lots of money from it, from vaccines,
from getting everyone to get
from the misery of the world. You know.
What's that called again? Disaster cannibalism.
Disaster cannibalism.
We're on to you, Richie.
So obviously the richest Prime Minister in British history by far. He went to Winchester College a training ground for Britain's rich elite before graduating from Oxford University in 2001 and going on to study at Stanford in California. So people have made the argument that he does not understand ordinary people.
Here's a fact for you. Guess who else went to Winchester University?
Voldemort.
Robin Hood.
Did he?
Aye.
That is an interesting fact, guy.
Aye. He learned archery there.
Did he actually?
Aye.
Aye. What wasn't there a quote he said? Like there was a video or something where he's talking about. What are you laughing at?
What are you laughing at?
What?
Just enjoying the programme.
Wasn't there a quote that he said about working class people?
Aye, there was.
Working class people.
Aye. Aye. He's openly saying, and you can openly say anything you want.
Well, apparently not. Like,
but and proudly saying that he has. He doesn't know of any, and he hasn't got any friends who are working class.
I have friends who are aristocrats, I have friends who are upper class, I have friends who are, working class, but I'm not working class, but I mix and match, and then I go to see kids.
So how can someone like him run a country when 90% of the people are working class, aren't they? Surely.
yeah.
Is there even such a thing as middle
Well,
class
that's the
anymore?
thing. This particular political party have always been, potentially out of touch with like what's actually going on.
They reckon the Tories are all for the rich. They're all a bunch of bankers, aren't they?
Devil's advocate may say, how can somebody with 730 million in the bank, who's never met a working class person, be the person to deal with energy crisis when there's people freezing and starving in the winters in council estates?
That's why you get them coming out with stupid statements saying buy a new kettle. Because they think a tenner's a lot of money, you know what I mean?
£10 a year.
They think that's a load, don't they? Oh, they've got now these tenner four. They're going to be buzzing with a new kettle.
Aye.
Saving a tenner. They're going to be
So
ecstatic.
is this the right person to have in? I don't know.
No.
Let's continue with the points here. So actually that was one of the points. He's on video saying he doesn't know any working class people. He's part of the World Economic Forum, so something we touched on previously with like Bill Gates and all that. There's a big board of rich people who want to... Anyway,
We're going to have to do that Great Reset again, I think, and put it out.
Well,
put it out
by
there.
the way, actually, I forgot to mention the previous ones. The Great Reset video that got taken down, it's actually on the Facebook page and it's on Spotify still. It didn't get taken down off them yet. So if you want to check that one out, guys.
Because we're explaining it for the ordinary guy, just like what we're doing here with Rishi Sunak.
We're just trying to learn as much as he is,
Aye, now we'll go through it together.
So this is the kind of big interesting point. And there's a video from the website where he's actually saying this in his own words, right? So he invests in a company that creates digital ID / social credit systems for China, and it's possibly going to be coming out in other countries. He supports a central bank digital currency, so it's a cashless society which ties into the social credit scoring system. So there's a video of him talking about it, so we'll put a little clip in here.
I'm proud to say that under the UK's presidency, the group of the world's 7 most advanced economies, the G7, is launching a set of public policy principles for retail central bank digital currencies, CBDCs. Central bank digital currencies could be a digital version of money, a bit like a digital banknote that could be used alongside physical notes and coins. Unlike most of the digital money people use daily today, it would be issued directly by a central bank, like the Bank of England in the UK. And governments and central banks across the world are working together, looking into what having a digital currency might mean in practice.
And
We're going to go through this. Are we going to go through this?
yeah, so we watched some videos on it the other night, didn't we? So basically, what they're proposing is
You seen he invests in that? Do you know his father-in-law is like the main bloke for that ad hoc scheme, and that's been in effect in India for the last 8 years or something like that, and that's what he invests in. Isn't it?
So the ad hoc scheme is this, but it's kind of India's version where everyone's got like this one card, or it's got like one of those barcode scanner things.
And this
on.
is facts. This is not just conspiracy.
And
This is actually happening.
It's got all your data on one centralized ID thing, but with this, so obviously that's Rishi Sunak's father-in-law, who's
a billionaire as well.
That's his thing. So this central bank digital currency that Rishi Sunak's talking about bringing in, it's like it'll replace like cash and all that, and basically it's the currency is controlled by the government, and they give you like credits based on like doing good things, but the government, or you can take it off you for doing bad things, which you might think in theory that's just what's the problem. But they're then controlling how you get your money and how you spend your money, and of saying that your car just might not work on something one day, and you make it bought too much meat, and they think, right, your carbon footprint's too high, you're not allowed to buy that now. We're not letting you spend your money on that now.
Aye, and this isn't just like speculation. This actually happens in China and India already.
Yeah, it's a thing in China, India.
Aye. So say you went to the supermarket to buy your weekly shopping. You've got your packet of burgers and your steaks and that, and you've got other things and that. It might just get to the point where you're putting the next packet of burgers in, and then it just doesn't work, and they say you can't have this. You've got to go and buy something. You've got to go and buy a vegan alternative or some bugs. Literally like.
So if it comes
These are scary times we're living in, guys.
So if it comes in, the government will control the currency and they'll control how you spend your money. It was even saying stuff like if you do something unfavourable at work, your employer can like withhold like money and all that.
I'd like to see my boss tell me I wasn't allowed a burger, like. But you know what? The point of this video is, as well as blowing the lid off this Rishi Sunak, right? Is there couldn't actually been a worse bloke being running the country, because he's got so much financial interest in these credits systems and that, and his family and that, and they're just literally billionaires. They have no clue, and they just want. It seems like the worst, doesn't it?
Did you see who was paying a visit at number 10 the other day?
None other than Bill Gates.
Bill Gates.
Put that video in where he's getting slapped with a pie. That's funny, that like.
I will. Rishi Sunak's wife is a billionaire, but she was claiming furlough payments during lockdown, and she doesn't pay tax in the UK because she's classed as non-domiciled, so she's not actually a UK citizen or resident or whatever. She's not like.
But she lives there.
Registered as a citizen or whatever, so she pays tax on some island.
Is that island that Russell Brand was saying? That you just go there and it's just filing cabinet after filing cabinet full of lies. Do you know what? This video will get tucked in.
Do you reckon?
100%, aye. But it'll get on Facebook.
It'll be on Facebook and Spotify if it does get tucked down. But all we're doing is pointing out things that are out there in the media already. Like we didn't make any of this up. Do you know what I mean? So we're gonna be sad enough to sit here and just make stuff up and put it on the internet.
Aye.
So looking at it from that perspective, he's got 730 million. You would like, why would you want to be Prime Minister if you had 730 million?
Isn't that job doesn't pay that much?
What's the salary for a Prime Minister? Is it like 150 grand pound or say a year or something like that?
Pause. We're back. So the annual salary is 170 grand a year.
Right, so he's already got 730 million in the bank, and now he's taken a salaried job position for 100 and, how much did you say?
170,000.
170 grand a year. He obviously doesn't need that kind of money, so he's not doing it for the money.
You know what? When you're a billionaire, though, that's literally, to me and you, that's like pennies.
That's probably interest. What he gets?
No, sorry, is it pennies? Would you say that was pennies?
For
that's
a
pennies
billionaire.
to him. That's pennies to him.
So he's got like in
that's a lot of money,
in liquid, he's got 730 million, but with all his assets and that, he's a billionaire. But that's like probably the interest he gets weekly in it. Mm-hmm. But so it's obviously not for the money. Not that I would say a lot of prime ministers are in it for the money. But you know,
well, you supposedly want to do it for the better.
But it's a good wage. Do you know what I mean? If you've got a prime minister, get it. I'm getting a canny pay rise here as well, and like it's a good incentive to want to be a good prime minister and all that. So it's nothing to do with that. So it may be because he is in with this the World Economic Forum and all them lot, and he supports the central bank digital currency and all that. That he'll by getting in, it might be a way for him to leverage
100%
these sorts of change.
Aye, 100% it is. If there couldn't have been a worse person, if you don't want this to happen, if this is a bad thing, you couldn't have got a worse person. I don't think, unless you just got Bill Gates in.
But that's the thing. Why is he in anyway? Like, shouldn't we have had a vote? Like, I know you're saying like they've got to come to the end of their time, but isn't that like a rule where you say, right, you've literally had 4 prime ministers in this one term, like. You've made a mess of it. It's time to have a rethink.
Well, going back to that point, right? I was saying like you vote the party in, so you vote the party, and the party's what they called
constituents.
What's that mean?
members.
No, wait, no, right. So the party's supposed to have a certain set of values, what they want to do, kind of thing. So you vote in that party's values, right? But then these last three that we've just had, you're not meant to vote in the person, you're meant to vote in the party, right? So these last three, say like Liz Truss, she banned fracking, or she was going to ban fracking. As soon as Rishi Sunak comes in, he's reversed all that. He's reversed loads of stuff. Like, there's been a few of them, like, just, the people's calling them the reverse party, right? So, to us, it looks like you're not voting the party in, you're voting that person in. So, why not have a general election?
Yeah, that would be the way to go for me, like.
100%, and I think there needs to be one, doesn't there? But who am I?
Yeah.
I'm just an English lad living in Australia. What do I care?
I know. What are your thoughts anyway? Obviously, specifically you who are obviously living in England and that, like, what's the general kind of vibe on the street? What are people saying?
What's the general thesis?
But you know what it is, like,
You've got to be living in between a rock or a hard place.
to his credit, to me, he does appear like the only intelligent Prime Minister we've had in the last 4. He does seem quite switched on. And he's obviously quite clear because he's young, isn't he? And he looks like he is quite brainy. So maybe he has got good intentions.
Aye, but he heard the way he talks on the camera and that. Like, he's like...
He sounds like a children's TV presenter, isn't he?
Aye.
Do your impression?
I can't remember even what I said.
Something about...
My memory's gone after the vaccine, guys.
Something about cash.
Aye. I can't remember. I'll do it in a
We'll
bit.
be moving to a cashless society.
Aye.
But it's so like fake enthusiasm. And it sounds like what a kids TV presenter sounds like.
He says something like it's like a cartoon digital banknote, and you can spend it however we like. But however we like, you know what I mean? Like, imagine your employer, your gaffer saying, "Nah, you're not allowed to have you're not allowed to drink beer this weekend, steaming."
That's mad, isn't it?
You're not getting steaming this weekend, steaming.
I know. You know, I was saying this.
Why, like? What's that got to do with a gaffer, like?
I was saying this the other night when we were just sitting like watching these videos and having a chat and stuff and like preparing what we're going to talk about this week. Like, do you think, right, this is just an idea, I could be totally wrong, right, but you think of the total like history, right, of human civilization from the beginning to now, right, and like the evolution and everything that's took place, and you look how much we've advanced even since we were kids with technology and all that stuff. I think possibly the human race has peaked now. And like,
is this your theory, is it?
I was just thinking, so you know, with like the internet and like all the advances in technology we've had, and now with the internet, things have just like kind of advanced much quicker. And like now, knowledge, everyone's got knowledge. Remember when I was at school, right? When I had to do like a report or like an essay or whatever, we used to have a CD-ROM called Encarta.
I remember that.
Which was like Wikipedia but on a disc. So it was limited because if it wasn't on the disc, then you know you couldn't have the information. Now the whole world and kids, you know, have got the whole. You know, knowledge at their fingertips, and all this social media and that breeds like these mad new cultures and that, and like the snowflake generation now everyone's just offended by everything all the time. I think like the human race has got to a point where I would say like maybe it's 2010s. It was like, right, this is class. We've got flat screen tellies, we've got internet, we've got iPhones. Everything's dead easy. Like you can travel wherever you want. And I think it's just that with the internet and all the advancements, things are just going too far, and the government's trying to regain control and stuff. And I feel like it's just going to start going down the other way until it's the end of humanity. Do you reckon? We've peaked now, guys. This is it. It's all downhill from here.
Like how much more can humans advance without it actually being a bad thing? Because like what more can you want?
Like, look at the whole COVID thing and that. Not to talk about COVID YouTube because now I'll take what we're doing. But like, look at that catastrophe we've had for the last couple of years, and how kind of aggressively the government's acted and stuff. Like this sort of stuff doesn't seem too, like, what's the word? Like far-fetched. Like,
no, but it is. There's actually videos of Rishi Sunak saying what it is and saying that they want to do it.
So I can fully see all this kind of stuff happening.
I can't see it not happening, mate.
Like then the days where, you know, you do a hard week's graft, you get your wage, buzzing, go and get a shower, get in the bar, get a pint, do you want to do the weekend? Like, and just having your own money that you control and do whatever you want. Instead you've got like a digital pass where you've got, dude, can I come in the bar please?
So saying this, right, is...
Oh, not allowed in today, you haven't got enough like credits on your social credit score.
Or you're just not allowed in because your boss doesn't want you to come in. Like, but you know what, is it saying that you don't even get your wage anymore? You get credits, do you?
I don't know. I think the video with Rishi, he was saying that it would be like in addition to your salary and all that. But
so then I think
This is actually on the Bank of England's actual website as well, you know.
Aye, it's on the Bank of England's website, he says.
Look it up, guys.
So, do you know what? If it was just an extra, you get some credits for doing nothing. And you get your wage, you can do with whatever you want with it.
Yeah. That'll be alright. That'll be alright because, you know, you just
extra bits.
Yeah. But if it replaces currency completely, because we have been going that direction for a while. Like we were saying the other day, we never use cash.
Nah, never.
The only time I use cash is when I get this dodgy barber who just takes cash only.
Aye.
That's the only time I ever get cash at the machine. And but other than that, it's just deep, in it. So we're already in a cashless society.
What was it like at home? Was it the same? Aye, was it? Because I was always the one that says I wouldn't dare tap anything with my phone. And then there was once I was in the city and I'd forgot my card. And the wife I think I was wanting a boost. The wife guns right and just quickly get the Apple Pay, and I was like, nah. And she was like, just do it. It takes 2 seconds, literally. So I did it. 5 minutes later, I'm walking away with a gym junkie. Buzzing I was. And then I've never. I couldn't even tell it. I think my card's expired actually.
I was always scared of it as well, me. I was always says I was never going to do it. I was even weary when the tapping thing came on the card. I was like, well, yeah, it's a bit mad. Someone just grab your card and just tap that all over the place. But it's convenience, isn't it?
Very scaredy times, guys.
But maybe instead of going this direction, we need to go back to a cash society. No more paywave, chip and pin, just cash only.
Who was that bloke we were watching the other day? Oh, I don't want to even attempt at saying his name because it'll be wrong. I can't remember what it was. He was on with Joe Rogan and he was explaining this. Can we put a link to that? To his explanation of what it is?
I've got it saved here. I think the dub might be out a bit because I screen grabbed it from
Can we put a bit in it? Nah.
But I can put a bit in it.
Too long, man.
Well, he has a breakdown of what it's all about. I'm going to put it in here. It's like a 2-minute clip.
2 minute. Bang it in.
Take it away, Techno.
The inflation at over 5% is now 5.4%, right? Our fiat money, the paper money, is increasingly becoming worthless, and we're headed towards a big disaster. The Fed wants to raise interest rates. But we're in so much debt that if you raise interest rates, people are going to suffer because we're living on debt as Western economies. So they realize that this kind of the lifespan of paper money is fast coming to an end because of the 2008 economic crash in particular. So they're bringing in these central banking digital currencies. Why is that word programmable in there? So what they said in that article, and the Chancellor put a video out saying this as well, they said, right, think back to what vaccine passports were, yeah? If you don't have your jab, you can't even eat in this restaurant. What they've said, and why the word programmable was in that headline was, they've said that this money that you will earn from work, instead of having paper money, you have this digital money, it's programmable so that you can't buy certain foods, or if you do something that your employer doesn't like, it's all in that article. You won't be able to spend your money. In other words, it's not money. They're vouchers. They're like food vouchers. And they can be programmed so that, like the Chinese social credit system, that if you try and use them on a certain thing, it won't work. You say you want to buy a burger and they want you to buy bugs, which is one of the examples used. If you start to try and buy unhealthy meat, just won't work. You tap your card, you can't buy the thing because you've met your quota that month of burgers. You have to buy something like a vegan meal.
So it won't just be money in the sense of the way we have dollars or pounds today.
Yeah.
It'll be something that's controlled in terms of your ability to distribute it.
Which is why I'm calling it a voucher. It's a coupon.
But even a coupon, if you have a coupon to buy bread, you can still buy the bread.
Yeah.
But
you can't buy, that coupon to buy bread, what you can't do is buy a burger with that coupon. It's for bread.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So you will have this central banking digital currency. And then what they're talking about in that article that we just pulled up is they'll say, right, and it explicitly uses the words, won't be used on something that the employer deems inappropriate or the state deems inappropriate.
Oh, we got to see this.
Yeah.
All right. I hope you enjoyed that one, guys. It's mad, isn't it?
Aye, but is that the video where he's saying in the past the government, it was, did you watch the one? He was saying like the last kind of time there was like this was when the press.
Oh yeah.
And people so before people would rely on going to the church. Is that in that video? It's not, is it?
I don't think so. That's an extra long one. We'll tell you what, we'll put the link in the bio for the full video where the guy fully explains it.
So watch this one. It's good, that one. And but this time around, the thing that the government are losing control of is money. and like with the cryptocurrencies and stuff like that. And this whole credit system and all that is the government's trying to gain control back, which they're losing grips on. And I got a little bit of hope from it because he was saying, well, we'll come out the end of it, and we need to go through this bad time, but then it's going to be so much better. Hopefully the whole world just comes together and sacks everyone off. Now the government's in that.
It's mad because, you know, governments or political parties are just made up things. It's just an idea someone had. Oh, let's us be the Conservative Party and pump loads of money into it. It's just like, I don't know.
There needs to be a party where it actually does care about the people.
Can't there be a new party that people make, like some kind of independent party, what's just like of normal people who are just against all this mad corruption and you know, people want to have full control.
I know. I have a mate.
Should we start a political party?
Wouldn't know where to start. Need to get someone with a bit of brain, and you could.
I think someone like Russell Brand would be good, you know.
Russell Brand.
Russell Brand or Joe Rogan.
Yeah, I'll just check this timer. So what were you saying about Russell Brand? Now what I was saying, like through COVID and that, Russell Brand for me was just someone who tells the facts. This is your new FILTA podcast, guys. He would just tell it how it was. He was near. He wasn't on either side of the thing. He was just telling it how it was, and I thought he was great, mate. I would probably wait. He's a bit of a hippie, like, isn't he?
I think he's good.
I bet he would do some. He couldn't be worse than this. I like him, mate. Get him in.
Yeah, no, I like him.
Well, I think we should start a petition for him to run at least.
I don't know if he'd even want to date, you know. I wouldn't.
I reckon he would.
But he is very switched on with politics and stuff. Like, I don't see why he wouldn't.
First thing he likes to tell everyone he was a heroin addict. Like, he gets at it. He somehow gets at it in every sentence. Like, anyway, how we finished with Richie?
There was a couple of other things in the news this week, and I mean, YouTube. If you're scanning this, I'm just reading headlines. All right, this headlines from the actual news, so don't shoot the messenger. Right. So. And
you know what? You'll be sitting there watching that thinking, is he? But there is actually people that go through your video and like misinformation if you don't say the right thing.
Basically the search keywords, right, and the scan your video, because the AI is quite good now, and it'll take them to the parts of the video where we've said COVID. I've had you work with it, haven't you? And then they'll
got a video and
then they'll take it down and whatnot. Anyway. This is the New York Supreme Court stated, being vaccinated does not prevent an individual from contracting or transmitting COVID-19. That's a quote from the New York Supreme Court. All right, that's not me saying that. Science has prevailed. Brave truth tellers have been vindicated. Justice has been handed down for those who stood firm in their beliefs and at their expense. That was a Twitter user at Sophisticage, again, not my words. Just reading the news here, guys.
Strike two.
Dr. Roger Marshall, I'm glad we're starting to see some justice for unvaccinated workers who were wrongfully fired. They never deserved these cruel mandates. I applaud New York Supreme Court for this decision. And the New York Supreme Court have ordered New York City to rehire pay back wages to unvaccinated city employees. So people who lost their jobs because they were unvaccinated have now been ordered to rehire and pay them back wages because it's been proven that getting the vaccine did not prevent the spread.
Strike three, guys. We're out of there.
There you have it.
Need more FILTA.
So if this video is taken down, it'll be on Facebook and Spotify anyway.
Maybe that's where we need to go. A voice for the people.
But I mean, you know what I mean? You kind of, it is mental how you get taken down for literally just talking about what's in the news. Like, this is what's going on in the world, but you know. I'm out at me, you know.
I know. You know what I was saying there? The whole thing creeps me out. Like the whole COVID thing. Like remembering what it was like. The whole thing creeps me out.
Now what? This time last year we were doing a Halloween special dressed up as Jesse and Walter.
Hi and hi.
The Halloween special this year, guys. I guess the Jeffrey Dahmer one was the Halloween one this year.
Aye. Is that we're finished with the politic?
I think I would have known it now.
Aye. Right. So just quickly, right? I was just scanning through my social media systems.
YouTube.
Right? And I came across this Jack Grealish, right? He came out saying, sometimes I want to say to them, meaning the English media, leave me alone a bit and focus on someone else so that I can focus on my game, right? That's because he's playing shite at the minute, right? But it was a few months ago, he was taking the piss, right? Being a footballer himself, actually taking the piss out of our player, Almiron, right? And surely football players should be sticking together, right? So he thinks he's alright to take the piss out of another player. But then he's starting to cry because the media who are doing their job and reporting on him being crap at the minute. Like, who does he think he is? Yeah, he's a freak, isn't he? Like, as if that's what a bully does, that, like. The bully is being bullied there and he's crying about it.
You can give it out, but you can't take it.
Aye. As if he's saying, I just want them to leave us alone so I can concentrate on my game. How does he think Almiron felt when his fellow player took the piss out of him and literally wanted the whole rest of everyone to have a laugh at Almiron's expense? And now the media is turning the focus on him because he's playing utter bollocks now. He's starting to cry about it. And Almiron's just sat there pumping goals in now. He's literally since he's done that. Since he done that, Almiron's just been on a mad streak. He's killing it.
Raging.
Aye.
Raging.
Aye. So Jack Grealish, get a grip on yourself and focus on your own game, Anyhow, what about anything else?
I think that just about wraps it up, guys. Do you reckon?
We can't really touch on what else.
Well, thanks again for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, stick a comment, tell your friends.
Tell your brothers and tell your mates.
Jake Paul's fighting tomorrow.
Oh, aye.
Will we watch that,
You know what it is? You've just opened a tin of worm there. Because, do you know, the longer he's in this scene, right, the more I'm warming to me, like.
Aye.
And as much as I don't want him to beat Anderson Silva, not in a million years, right? Have you seen the bet they've put on together?
Oh yeah, actually I did like that.
But have you, right, so that's one point. I thought that was great.
What was the best for the fans? So they know.
We'll insert the video.
Okay.
Help myself. Part of the theme of your last few fights has been bets, Jake. I'm just wondering if this time around, are we going to do that or?
I have a bet.
You do?
I have a bet.
Wow.
I have a bet for you, Anderson.
For Anderson, okay.
All right. It's a good one. It's a good one.
No.
All right, so look. If you win, I'll give you something that you probably want.
Okay, you start again. No tattoos.
No.
No tattoos.
No, if you win, I will fight you in an MMA fight.
Whoa!
Wow.
You're so smart because I don't fight MMA anymore. You're so smart.
Kickboxing.
I got you.
Kickboxing.
Okay. Kickboxing, all right.
Kickboxing. But if I win, me and you come together to create a United Fighters Association to help UFC fighters get better pay and better health care. You become the interim president, and we unite to help these fighters once and for all.
Deal.
Wow.
Let's go.
Right. So that's what he's wanting to do, right? Seems like he's got nothing but good intentions there.
Mm-hmm.
So if Anderson wins, if Jake Paul wins, then Anderson fights him in the UFC. In a MMA fight. So that, and then if the other way around wins, then they become this mad thing where they try to get UFC better wages and better healthcare.
Mm-hmm. Dana
White will be shitting himself, like. But then on the other one, that's what he's trying to do for the MMA fighters. The boxing one, he's in the middle. Eddie Hearn's in the middle of suing him for 100 million for defamation of character, saying that for pointing out that it looks like boxing's fixed. Does anyone else think boxing's fixed?
It does look fixed at times.
So it was the Amanda Serrano fight that he's kicking off about.
Is he?
Saying that was a fix. And then also there was other ones, all Eddie Hearn's boys, and saying that Eddie Hearn must be paying the judges. But look at that Campbell Hatton fight.
Aye.
How did he win that? You know what I mean?
Aye.
But not just that. Not just that.
Boxing's always been shady, hasn't it? Right back to have you seen Raging Bull?
I've not seen Raging Bull, but I really want to. Like
Raging Bull, it's a true story about Jake LaMotta. He was like a
Jake the Nutter,
champion boxer back in the day, like in the Bronx in New York and that. And Robert De Niro plays him. And basically, he was like the best boxer going, but the mob were like paying him to like lose fights and all that. And if he didn't lose them, they were going to kill him and that. So it like kind of. They were betting on the other fighters and that. So corruption's been in boxing since forever. Really, there's been loads of like dodgy decisions over the years. So I wouldn't even be surprised.
Oh, that would be a good one to go in. That again about
corruption of boxing.
Corruption of boxing.
Aye.
That would be a really good one. Remember that one about Sonny Liston and Muhammad Ali.
Aye, the Phantom Punch.
Aye, he was found. Didn't he get found dead, Sonny Liston? Not long after that fight.
I don't know.
Aye. Neither do I. Let's blow the lid off the corruption in boxing soon, guys.
Aye.
So this was your Rishi Sunak for idiots. Let's
make your own mind up, guys. There was no opinions in this episode, was there? Make your own mind up. Just spitting facts.
Aye. Thanks for tuning in. If you didn't mind pressing like and subscribe, and maybe just write something in the comment. I wonder how long that would take.
If you share a video, you might get one of these in the post.
You might do.
Might not, no.
Might take you a good few months though. It's coming from Australia, guys.
See what we can do.
Good day, mate.